Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Hopkins, Minnesota, and we are on the precipice of a great adventure. My family reunion has wrapped up, visiting family here in Minnesota, and from here we are heading west. I'm going to be rocketing westward across the country. My goal is to get to California in time for the California State Fair. It has been one of my missions on this channel to visit every single state fair. And I figured as good a time as any to accomplish the California State Fair. So California State Fair is in Sacramento. We're going to head across the country, so it is officially the kickoff of the state fair season. I'm planning on hitting quite a few state fairs this year to add to the list, and I think I'm going to try to hit a few state fairs on my way back from California. Heading back east, we're going to try to hit a few state fairs on the way east. So a big adventure ahead of us. Just left Minneapolis. I dropped Annabelle off at the airport. She's going to be headed back home, and I am going to be headed westward. And along the way, as we venture out to California, as we venture out to the California State Fair, we're going to try to see some interesting things along the way. Of course, I'm always open for suggestions. If there's anything you'd like to see me check out along the way, leave a comment in the comment section. But I think it is just appropriate that we start out this trip, this adventure, with a world's largest. We are here in Hopkins, Minnesota, home of the world's largest raspberry. Hopkins, the raspberry capital of the world. If you are a world capital, there's really only one thing to do from there. You have to also build the world's largest thing that you are famous for in that town. So the people of Hopkins in 2017 erected the world's largest raspberry. See that dangling raspberry there? Way bigger than that vehicle there. You can see the plaque here. World's largest raspberry. Officially unveiled July 8th. So yeah, almost coming up on the birthday of the world's largest raspberry, 2017. Says that is a symbol of the rich history of the raspberry industry in Hopkins. Actually, I had no idea. I had no idea that raspberries came from Minnesota. It's one thing about all of these travels. I actually do learn something new just about every single day. Rarely is there a day go by where I don't learn something. So I was under the giant raspberry here. I noticed a little trickle, almost, yeah, you see the little drip there, almost dripped on my head. I guess you could stand under here and drink the raspberry juice that drips out of the bottom of the world's largest raspberry. We have stopped off here in Dassel, Minnesota, here at the Dassel Community Cemetery. Here to visit a particular grave. It looks like this sign is actually pointing us in the right direction there. You can see it says Munchkin this way. Because here in Dassel, Minnesota, we have the grave of Mildred Olson here. She played a Munchkin villager in The Wizard of Oz, one of my all-time favorite movies. And you can see an etching of her in her full Munchkin costume there. You can definitely just take a look at her and just definitely remember exactly who she was in The Wizard of Oz. See the yellow brick road behind her and the inscription saying, "Follow the yellow brick road. They even put a little marker here next to the grave, resting place of Hildred Olsen, the smallest Munchkin in the Wizard of Oz. And I guess to mark her height, they actually made her tombstone to be the same height that she stood. So I don't know if there's a lot of people where their tombstone is the exact height that they were standing up, but see if we can get kind of an idea here of how tall she was. So she was only 36 inches tall when she passed away, making her the shortest of all the actors that played the Munchkins in the Wizard of Oz. She died in 1958, and apparently at that point, I didn't realize this, but apparently Wizard of Oz wasn't that well regarded at that point in time. It actually made kind of a return to fame when they started airing it yearly. I believe my mom said they started airing it every Christmas. She would watch The Wizard of Oz. So apparently, when she was first buried, she did not have a proper stone. So the town has pooled the resources. Locals that cared about her and her legacy erected this very nice marker to mark the spot that she was buried. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Minnesota has a lot of connections to the Wizard of Oz, and Grand Rapids is where Judy Garland is from, who played Dorothy. And then we have one of the Munchkins here buried, not too far away, in Dassel, Minnesota. And if you go next door to Wisconsin, one of the strangest things to me is the Wizard of Oz premiered in Wisconsin, of all places, in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, where I actually lived for a time as when I was a teenager. So yeah, some strong Midwest connections to the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, very Midwestern movie. You know, you had a little out and enter Kansas area, so kind of a celebration of the Midwest in a way. And we have landed here in Darwin, Minnesota. And you know, as you're traveling and checking out smaller roadside attractions, you never really know if they're going to be open. You never really know, it's part of the adventure. You don't know if you're going to show up, it's going to be closed. Even the hours posted online, you never know if the attraction is just going to end up being closed anyways. But here, it turns out, it looks like the entire town is closed. Came out here to Darwin, and it looks like they are repaving their entire, the entire main strip here. So yeah, it looks like a massive construction going on. But of course, Darwin, known for having the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. Now, unfortunately, the museum, I guess, was, according to online, it said the museum would be open. It looks like it is closed today. I don't know if that's because of the construction. Maybe they're not opening it, or, just sometimes, they're volunteer run. They just don't have people to open things up. But fortunately, it's not a total loss, because you still can observe the ball of twine here in its own pagoda here. Let's go get a closer peek at the largest ball of twine here. Oh yeah, look at all that. Look at all that twine. And to me, when you talk about balls of twine, they're one of the most iconic roadside attractions, an accomplishment that you didn't necessarily know existed, but you're still willing to take a trek off your main route to check out the largest ball of twine. Now, there are 4 largest balls of twine. Using different metrics, you can determine there are 4 different largest ball of twines. This is kind of, in some ways, I feel like this is the thing. This ball here started the craze of creating these large balls of twine, and this holds the records of the largest ball of twine created by one man. This is a life's work of one individual here creating the largest ball of twine. Now, there is a larger ball of twine in Cocker City, Kansas. The distinction there, that ball of twine made by an entire community is actually still growing to this day. I've made it out to there, and that is a wonderful ball of twine as well. There is a third ball of twine, the one that Guinness World Records has dubbed the largest, and that, of course, is in Branson, Missouri, at the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. It has the largest circumference. However, it is the lightest of the twine balls, and is made out of plastic twine instead of the traditional sisal twine used to make the other twine balls. And then number four is the only one I have not seen myself. It is in far north Wisconsin. That was also created by one man. It is not the biggest, but it is the heaviest. And the gentleman that made that ball only died in the last couple of years, but they did. I know the town has recently taken the ball from his property and are putting it on permanent display in the town. So that is on my list. I do need to get out there and see the fourth largest, not the fourth, in numbers, but one of the four largest balls of twine. The Wisconsin ball is still one that I have not seen. Down here below, in front of the twine ball, you can see a picture there of the man who created this, the single man that created this ball of twine, Francis Johnson. And it doesn't really go into a lot of detail on the why here. He did it because he wanted to, and he accomplished something great, something that got the town talking. And see him proudly standing there with his ball of twine. Now it looks like, you see there's like some netting on the bottom of the ball of twine. I think that's probably just to hold it together. I think the ball's gotten maybe a little droopy over the years. I know the twine possibly dried out quite a bit. The first time I came out here, the gentleman that was working here let me go inside and touch the ball of twine. Here's the door here, but I see there's like plexiglass placed over the door here, so I don't know if this is just completely sealed now. I don't know if they let anyone inside. Maybe they have hermetically sealed the twine ball there. Over here are the stats. World's largest twine ball by one man. Constructed by Francis Johnson, 1950 to 1979, so just a little under 30 years. It weighs 17,400 pounds with about a 40-foot circumference. It was moved from his personal home to this location in 1991. And here's a plaque honoring Francis Johnson. And it says at one point, yeah, you can see him there next to the twine ball. You can see at one point, apparently he had the ball in the back of his pickup truck so he could drive it around town and show everyone. Yeah, it says it used to be part of the local parade. And I do feel that most people probably know about the twine ball here from the Weird Al song, The Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota, which in the song, he takes his family, asks his kids, where do they want to go? He's got 2 weeks off from work, and the kids are allowed to pick anywhere in the world that they would like to go, and they choose to go to Darwin, Minnesota to see this ball of twine. It's a really fun song, and in the song they actually list off some other roadside attractions that they visited, real world roadside attractions. They list off wax museums and ghost towns, a lot of things I've been to. They talk about the white squirrel, the white squirrel town, which could actually be one of maybe 3 towns. And they do mention in the song, Weird Al mentions the Boll Weevil Monument, of course, one of the roadside attractions that's closest to my heart. But yeah, like I said, I really feel like the ball of twine, like it really kind of embodies what roadside attractions are and what roadside attractions mean. And you know, the song does embody that as well. Just this trip to see something fascinating, to see something unusual, to see something that you don't normally see. You know, it just kind of fits into my love of roadside attraction. I probably would get the ball of twine tattooed on me, but I don't know if it would actually look like. It'd be hard to translate ball of wine, ball of twine. Did I say ball of wine? Ball of twine into a tattoo. So I really wish the museum was open today. I'd love to buy some merchandise. But like I said, I guess all this construction here. There is a number to call someone. I don't want to necessarily do that on such short notice. Maybe you should have called ahead and had someone here. But yeah, still they are. I must say, this is a 24-hour roadside attraction. You can come see it in its glass casing here. They did give there was something where it said that you could get souvenirs at the Blue Moose pub, but then I looked up the Blue Moose pub and it was actually closed. So I don't know if we can get any ball of twine souvenirs today, but glad that I got to come out and see the biggest ball of twine. Right next to the ball of twine, we have the Twine Ball Inn, a hotel that, of course, takes its name from the neighboring Twine Ball, and does not look like it's currently in operation. It says here the Twine Ball Inn is being renovated and will become a short-term rental Airbnb property in the future. We're super excited about this. So yeah, maybe I can come back and we can stay at the Airbnb, the Twine Ball Inn. Looks like someone left their Twine Ball or bust sign. They came from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to see the Twine Ball. But I guess this is when we really need to come back. Apparently they have the Twine Ball celebration the second Saturday of every August. I'm not going to be able to make it this year, but maybe someday. Yeah, as you can see, Darwin, a very, very small town. It's very quiet right now out on Main Street. It is Sunday, so maybe things are a little quieter then. But yeah, all is quiet here at the Twine Ball. And remember, downtown Darwin is Twine Ball country. But as quiet as it is out here in Darwin, people still love the ball of twine. While I've been sitting here, I think about 4 different groups of people have pulled up. Quiet town, the residents are doing Sunday things, but people keep coming, pulling up, taking pictures with the ball of twine. The ball of twine has definitely not been forgotten. Looks like part of the renovations here added some landscape into this park here. This sign here, Schoolhouse Park, with the big twine ball on the sign. And I will say goodbye for now, Twine Ball. And I don't think the Welcome Center is necessarily open, but we can take a peek inside. Oh wow, look at this mural up here of all the wonderful things in South Dakota. You got the Mount Rushmore there, you got Crazy Horse, the Corn Palace. It's a giant statue here of a Native American woman. And yeah, it does look like the Welcome Center portion is closed. We usually close at 5 o'clock. And I'm fascinated with Welcome Centers, so we can just take a peek inside here. And okay, you have there's a taxidermied buffalo in there. there is a replica of Mount Rushmore. This actually looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna definitely next time I'm gonna have to swing by the South Dakota Welcome Center. I was trying to rate the best welcome centers, and that's fun. That's fun. The buffalo and the Rushmore statue. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Next time. And we have arrived in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where I will be laying my head for the evening. But I came over here to McKenna Park. We have a very interesting statue here known as the Potato Man. See, very colorful statue, actually a very lifelike statue. It almost looks like a wax figure. See, he's got his bucket of potatoes there. And apparently a statue dedicated to Irish immigrants. It says, "God bless the Irish immigrants. We can only imagine the scourge and anguish of the potato famine, death and disease of the coffin ships." Yikes, what's a coffin ship? Oppression and poverty once they arrive, extreme courage and grit merely to survive, and the heartfelt emotion and deepest devotion. We love them and remember them. Oh my goodness. So I guess Potato Man here has been through quite a bit of trouble, been through famine and anguish, the potato famine, wrecking mass death. This does look like the face of a man who's rowed aboard a coffin ship, whatever that is. Sounds like a horrible place, a coffin ship. And I think this here is like an outline of Ireland, a little replica of Ireland there. You see the Irish flag and the different names here, different Irish names. McQuinley, O'Connor, Kinsley, I guess different Irish families have placed their names here. So a little slice of Ireland here in South Dakota. So we came over here to Sherman Park, where we can visit an authentic World War II battleship. But this, as you can see, is a little different than some other battleships. Now, I've visited a handful of different battleships on this channel, but the USS South Dakota here is a very special battleship. It actually was an extremely important battleship in World War II. It was involved in every major battle. It was the first battleship to strike a Japanese island. And when it was retired, the people of South Dakota, they wanted their battleship. They wanted the battleship that was named after their state. But unfortunately, it was very difficult to bring the battleship here to South Dakota because they don't have oceans in South Dakota. They don't have a lot of places where you can put a full-sized battleship. So unfortunately, the ship was mostly scrapped. So to honor the ship, they took the scraps from the USS South Dakota and arranged them into a replica of sorts using the real parts of the battleship. They placed them in a field here and created a perimeter here so you can actually visit the battleship on land. Let's board the ship here. You can see some of the cannons and things used on the battleship here. You can walk on the nice, freshly mowed battleship here. Now there is a indoor section here. Unfortunately, it is closed. We did not make it in here in time. Today has been a bad day for showing up too late, showing up when things have already closed. Let's peek inside the gift shop here. I see it's like a little miniature museum of sorts. There is so many mosquitoes here. I just looked down at my leg and there were seven mosquitoes on my leg at the same time. So we are under attack from the air here on the USS South Dakota. Yeah, we can see some actual pieces of the ship here. See the crow's nest there. And then they have some of the actual guns here placed in concrete. So you can kind of get an appreciation for the size of the battleship. Look at the size of this massive gun here. Of course, the one rule of battleships, no climbing on the guns. See the propeller back here. So this would be the rear of the ship. Yeah, I have to stay moving here or I immediately become eaten by mosquitoes. Why are there so many mosquitoes on this battleship? Now here's an actual piece of the deck. It's a small piece, but it is a piece of the wooden deck here. Yeah, it says, you are standing on the teakwood deck planking of the battleship USS South Dakota BB-57. Take a moment and reflect upon the courage, heroism, and joy, sorrow, and victory this deck and the crew have experienced. Go ahead and walk to the front of the ship. Over here you can see the radar antenna that would have been mounted on top of the ship. And here is the anchor. That big, massive chain there. We walk along the chain here. You can see there's a big park over this direction. Then we kind of have some stores over here. So Walgreens up ahead. Yeah, just think about how deep this anchor could be dropped into the ocean, how long this chain is here. I guess they would have a US flag on this flagpole in the front, but I guess because the museum is closed, they've probably taken that inside for the evening. Yeah, it's actually a really super interesting way to display a battleship. Almost looks like the battleship is like sinking into the grass. Look at this. Look at all the mosquitoes on my leg. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, what is happening here? I think Sioux Falls, South Dakota has a little bit of a mosquito problem. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've not been, actually, I don't think I've been through South Dakota in the summer months, so we're caught off guard by the amount of insects here. That was scary. I saw so many. I just looked down and I saw my legs just literally covered with mosquitoes. It seemed like they would literally be able to drink all of my blood. I think I still got some on me. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like legitimately disconcerting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's one right there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're on my legs. This is... Hopefully I don't get some sort of disease. Jeez. Oh, I gotta make sure I'm free of mosquitoes, for I don't want to leave them in my car. Okay, yeah, let's get to the safety of the interior of the car. This is crazy. So many mosquitoes. Oh my gosh. I see them swarming around. Oh my goodness. I am sorry. I'm like beside myself here with these. I've been all over the country. I've been to swampy states like Florida, New Orleans, and I've never seen mosquitoes like this. I guess I just didn't think of South Dakota. There's not a lot of water, not a lot of swamps, but they were just like coming out of the grass. I was like looking down at my legs and they were just coated in mosquitoes, and there was on my socks, on my arms. Yeah, that was a little, that was worrying me. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the time of day. The sun's going down. I don't know if they're very active right now, but wow. I got like little blood spots all over me from where I smacked them. Hopefully that's my blood and not some stranger's blood. But sorry, I don't mean to make this all about mosquitoes. But yeah, the Battleship back there, really cool. I love how they've, they didn't let the lack of an ocean stop them from preserving the Battleship. They took what they had and they made a pretty cool and very, very unique monument to the USS South Dakota. So yeah, I spent the last little bit here. Spent the 4th of July weekend back in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities area. My family is not from Minnesota. We had a family reunion this time. It was my aunt and her husband's. It was their 50th wedding anniversary, so we did a get together that way. My dad moved to Minnesota some years back for work, and he hosted a party. I think we did another one about 3 years ago, so this is not like an annual thing, but every so often the family does a big to-do. So I got to see a lot of people. I have a very large family on my dad's side. My dad has almost a dozen brothers and sisters. I think we counted how many. I have 20 first cousins on my dad's side of the family, and yeah, most people were there. Some people couldn't make it, but yeah, I got to see people I hadn't seen in years. I was very happy Annabelle got to fly up and spend some time with the family. Unfortunately, she's just not been able to had a chance to see my family or meet everyone in my family because they're so spread out, live all over the country. But it was good seeing everyone. Good seeing my dad. Good seeing my brothers, my cousins. So had a good time. Did a little filming in between. Filmed at the Science Museum while everyone else was watching a movie in the IMAX theater about bears. I generally don't watch like the movies in museums, so I was like, "You guys have fun, watch your bear movie, and I'm just gonna enjoy the museum." And then Mall of America, other people doing shopping, and I did some exploring around the Mall of America, and actually we did an escape room. Family doing 8 people doing an escape room. I generally don't film escape rooms because they don't like you to film them because it ruins the solution. You don't want people to be able to watch a video ahead of time to know the solution. That's no fun. So yeah, it was a good family reunion. Usually, oddly enough, we do my mom's family reunion 4th of July normally, but that's been moved back to the end of August. So I got to be back in the Midwest by the beginning of August. So I've got kind of a whirlwind trip going here. Like I said, we're headed to California State Fair is the destination. Of course, we got ways to drive, got to get across the country. So we're going to try to find some neat stuff as we head out that way. It's been a little while since I've driven cross country. Yeah, once you start headed west, you realize that some parts of the country are just so wide open. There's just so much open space in the country. So we'll be traveling through some open space. I'll be doing some filming, and some days I may just decide to buckle down and just drive all day instead of filming. I'll just play it by ear. And then once on the way back, got some state fairs. I'm going to try to knock out a huge amount of state fairs. I hope you guys like the state fairs because that's going to kind of be my primary focus for the next couple months on this channel. Of course, we'll be doing the other stuff as well. We'll be doing, amusement parks, theme parks. A lot of amusement parks and theme parks open, so this is a time when I try to go to them. Also the state fairs, and always willing to stop and do other fun stuff along the way. So I hope you guys enjoy this trip. Hope you guys stick with me as we head out to California. I'm really excited about the state fairs. Really, that's one way to learn a lot about a state, is to go to the state fair. California is a huge state, a lot of people in it, and a lot of interesting things. So hopefully the state fair lives up to the state. But thank you guys so much for following along with these videos. I do greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to film as much as I can as I travel. May take a day off to dedicate to driving. Possibly, not likely, but possibly I'll take a day off to relax in a hotel room and recharge. Probably not. But again, I always appreciate it. If you guys do like the videos, though, please hit the subscribe button. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, battleships sunken in a field, and other fun stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider Patreon. $3 or more gets you a postcard once a month. Also do personalized messages on Cameo. Got an Etsy shop where I sell pins, and all those things help keep this train on the track, help keep this boat in a field, and help keep this dirigible in the air. Oh my gosh, I think there's a mosquito. There's a mosquito on my leg. A living mosquito. Oh my gosh. Until next time, this one's in the bag.